Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and that was a great slap. Real good. I don't know what it sounded like through the speakers, but in here it was percussive and echoey. What's going on, everybody? I have another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I do know what's in here. I think it's a really good idea. Just checked it on the website, but I've not opened it yet. As per usual, I'll share that experience with you guys. Thanks to Remette for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. What do we have here? We have the Remette RT Bee G. What is that? First of all, this is inexpensive. I will link it in the description. I think they have it listed at $57, which is a great price. I have reviewed the premium version of this knife. This is now the less expensive version. I think that this will be great for a lot of people because I reviewed that knife, or I unboxed. I think the review is done, but a lot of people were like, that's a great idea. I just don't need a premium version of it. So what is this? What makes it the Bee? Number one, we have a flipper tab. We have thumb studs, right, which are great. This feels exactly like the premium one. You can pick up the premium one if you want. I'll link it there too. What do we have for the blade steel? So where are you? Does it say? Surely it says. So given that this is $57, I got to point this out. Remette, you have an error on your listing. And I'll let you guys go to the link if you want to see. You have an error on your listing. And I know it's an error, number one, because of the price. And number two, because in the text that shows like the specs or the description of the knife, it correctly shows it as 14C28N, as it would be on a knife at this price point. On your images below it, on each individual image, one of the images says that the steel is M390 and is imported Austrian steel, which is correct if it was M390, but you're referring to your premium one, which is not the knife that is shown in the image. This is obviously an error. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm sure that they'll correct it. Remette is really good about listening to consumer feedback. If you guys remember the situation with the Rhino, where it had a subpar locking system and they immediately changed it to a much better system. This is great. They are definitely here sort of in the trenches with the community under, my videos and a number of other content creators actually getting feedback from their customers. And the deal with this knife, sorry, you guys know I'm sure, it has a little toothpick. Now, the first time when I unboxed the premium one, I was like, how useful is that? And it's just like I said in the review, which is all coming back to me now. It's very sharp, right? A little toothpick poker thing. I honestly wouldn't use it as a toothpick. I don't like the idea of a metal toothpick. What I do like is the fact that there is a pointed object that comes with your knife that saves you from using the tip of your knife in a way that you shouldn't, right? So many people who carry pocket knives will use the tip of their blade as a screwdriver or as a pry tool, right? Most of you, in fact, I would guess pretty much all of my subscribers, my regular viewers know you shouldn't be using a knife tip for that type of stuff. That's terrible. Basically, all you're doing is just blunting your knife. You're making it worse at what it's supposed to do, right? If you need the tip of your knife to puncture, you're gonna need that to stay sharp. So you don't want that thing bent over or rolled over or broken off, right? Use this. They advertise it as like a fruit fork, which I think is also a decent use of that. I mean, it's like, I don't feel like I'm constantly like, oh my gosh, I have all this fruit and I don't know what to eat it with. I'm utensil-less. But that is a situation that I come across sometimes. Most of the time for me, and I think some people will be able to relate, so you can let me know if this sounds accurate. A lot of times, if I'm grilling food, which is a lot during football season, a lot, I have a plate and a tray beside me. I've got a table beside me. Sometimes the food that is about to go on or about to come off is sitting, kind of waiting. And I get hungry because I've got food in front of me and it smells really good. But I usually have a spatula and tongs, right? Maybe a knife. And the knife is what I end up using to poke into. It's usually like a bratwurst or something like that. Or sometimes I'll cut up a burger patty and just eat it. A little like fruit fork type thing actually would be really good, especially for little pieces of sausage. That actually works really, really well. So I like that idea. I think this is really cool, especially the fact that you can get this for $57 instead of $200, or I think maybe it was slightly over $200. Everything feels the same. The flipping action is the same. The thumb stud action feels the same. We have contour G10. We have a nice choke up spot. That's the thing. It's not just a knife with a little poker. It's actually a really well-designed knife. Nothing new, nothing incredibly like, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this, but a good utilitarian profile, right? We have a nice classic sheep's point blade. Got a good choke up spot. Flipper tab's not too aggressive, so even though it's there and you have to transition from the choke up spot back to the standard grip, it's not super aggressive. Jimping, pretty good. Probably could be slightly deeper. The thumb studs, definitely a really nice design there. Nice and wide, easy to get a hold of without being super duper uncomfortable. Of course, we have good centering, nice lockup. Remette makes a really, really nice budget knife. It's definitely one of the brands here lately that I've been recommending to people who are just starting out, right? If you found my channel from TikTok or from YouTube Shorts, or you just plopped in, maybe the algorithm actually recommended my channel to you and you don't know anything about knives. There's a few select companies that a lot of us will recommend you start with. Remette is definitely one of them. So if not this, definitely check out their other stuff, which will be linked in the description. Let's go ahead and get a measurement real quick on this knife for anybody who doesn't know. Overall length, the RTB coming in at 7 inches with a blade length of about 3 1/16. Cutting edge is about 2.85. Good general lightweight compact EDC size. How about some size comparisons up against some knives that are similar in size? The 80 20.5 and the Benchmade Bug Out. How about the Spyderco Para 3? There we go. How about the Ontario Rat Model 2? That's definitely a good one. Let's put it up against some other good budget knives like the, well, close to budget, right? The $78 Civivi Vision FG, the Raccoon, the Boss Steed Raccoon. Let's put it up against the CJRB Pyrite. Also a good one there. And let's do the Pyrite Light. I feel like that one's going to be... Oh, we could... You know what we'd also do is the Civivi Elementum. I feel like every other person watching owns the Civivi Elementum. There's the new Pyrite Light. All right. So again, the materials, we have a combination of G10 and steel for the liners, with the steel toothpick or fruit fork, whatever you want to call it. We have, it's basically a Civivi clip that's just done correctly. Like, this is all I've ever wanted from Civivi. That's so funny. Where's a Civivi knife? God, it's like just a Civivi clip without the bill. That would be so much better, but okay. So there's that, and then let's weigh it. 14C28N, G10, and steel for the liners. So the weight on this guy coming in at 3.6 ounces. Totally reasonable. Okay. That's it. I don't know that I guess I'll still do a full review. Yeah, because it's a different knife. I mean, it's a totally different price point. I was going to say it's the same thing. It's just way less expensive, which honestly I think makes so much more sense for this. Like, I think the people who are going to be interested in this are probably going to, there's going to be more of you who are going to want the cheaper one. But then again, that's probably everything, right? Everything is always more desirable if it's less expensive. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. $57, sure. Remette, check the listing there where it says M390. It's obviously referring to the more expensive one. It's just a mix-up. But anyways, unless they have a G10 and M390 version of this that I don't know about. But I highly doubt you're selling M390 and G10 for $57. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.